Alright, good afternoon, and after about a week off, I'm back for the preview of this year's Rally Sardegna. The sixth round of what is turning out to be one of the most interesting and unpredictable seasons we've had for a long time, really. 2019 would probably be the last time we had such a close fight. 2020 as well, but it was a shorter season. Now look, starting off, we'll look at the entry list. There's going to be 8 cars in Rally 1 this weekend, which is pretty much normal. 8 or 9 is pretty normal. Made up of all the full-time drivers, in addition to Danny Sordo in Hyundai and Seb Ogier in a Toyota. Now onto the Rally 2 entry list, which of course is much more detailed and much bigger. There's going to be 40 cars scoring points in the category, along with 2 Rally 2 cars who are not scoring points. These 2 drivers being Oliver Solberg and Nikolai Gryzin, who are just doing it for the experience because they've got enough money that they can do all the rounds, well, most of the rounds, and just score when they want. The drivers competing for Rally 2 include Johan Rossell, who is, of course, traditionally a tarmac specialist, but is also very strong on gravel, having come 5th in class last time out in Portugal, and he also came 4th in class here in Rally 2 last year. Teemu Sunninen, another driver very good on gravel, will be back in Sardinia after a very disappointing first rally of his season in Portugal, where he crashed out early on, so he was certainly looking for something a bit better than he got there. He is a previous WRC podium sitter in the top category, and came a very impressive 2nd place here in Italy in WRC2 last year. His teammate in the Hyundai development team, or whatever it is, if it exists, is of course Emil Lindholm, who will be making his 3rd appearance in the WRC this year. Of the 2 rallies he's done so far, he's come 7th and 8th in class, which for his high standards and his hopes to get a Rally 1 drive at some point are not what are required. So he's going to be hoping for at least a podium here in Sardinia in class. Another very impressive Finnish driver is Sami Pairi, one of my favourite drivers, a gravel driver, more than he is a tarmac driver certainly, but certainly good on both. Driving his Yaris Rally 2, which is mainly developed on gravel in Finland. Both man and machine will be at home on gravel this weekend, and last year he didn't do so well here. He came 5th in class, and he has certainly improved since then, so I think he can do much better. But we'll come on to that in the predictions later on. Moving away from the Finns now, onto the French. Nicolas Siemin, who is surprisingly in 4th in the WRC2 standings after coming 4th in class at all the 3 rounds he's done this year. Could we see him getting a 4th in a row? Now onto the Spanish representation, starting with Pepe Lopez, who is currently just behind Siemin in 5th in the WRC2 standings, having performed well in both Monte Carlo, where he came 2nd, I believe, and also Croatia. This will be his 4th point scoring weekend of the year, and he retired last year in Portugal. This will be his 4th point scoring weekend of the year, having retired last time in Portugal. Now on to the other Spanish driver, Jens Solens, who was winner in class last time in Portugal and came 2nd here in WRC2 in 2022. Portugal being fairly similar to what Sardinia is this weekend could make him quite a surprise, because it's a very similar surface, similar weather by the look of it as well. The last Rally 2 driver I'm going to expand on is Pierre-Louis Loubet, who has spent the past few years in top machinery before dropping down to Rally 2 for this season. He had a pretty bad first rally of his season last time out in Portugal. He retired twice from the rally. He did, however, win 2 stages in class, showing some good speed. Other drivers in the category include Laura Una, who got a podium last time out, Ruby Koronen, also a good gravel driver, Gail Glenham, also good on gravel, Ketan Katanovic, Robert Vierves, Marco Balasia, Will Crichton, and of course both of the Toyota development drivers. Now for the first time, I'm going to actually have a look at the Junior WRC. starting with the current championship leader, Romet Jurgensen, who is part of the FIA Rally Star program. Of the 2 rallies worth points in the Junior WRC, he has won one of them and comes second in the other, meaning he currently has a lead in the championship of 22 points, and certainly at this point the favourite for the championship. Currently third in the championship because Mille Johansson has only done Sweden so far, who is second. His fellow Australian, Taylor Gill, who is another driver in the FIA Rally Star program. He came 8th and then 2nd in the 2 rounds he's done this year. And the last driver I'm going to expand on is Bruno Balasia, Marco Balasia's younger brother, who has been around the WRC circuit for a few years, certainly more than the previous 2 drivers, making him one of the most experienced drivers in the Junior WRC. He also has experience in Rally 2 machinery, giving him some more ability. There's obviously quite a few more drivers that I could talk about, but I'm not going to because we'll be here all day. Now onto the route changes. The route is very different to last year. It may even be completely different, I'm not exactly sure. I didn't go into that much detail. This year's route is a whole 54.7 kilometres shorter than last year's, and also 3 stages shorter. The removal of last year's 49.9 kilometre stage is a disappointment. And this year's rally will therefore be made up of 266 kilometres, consisting of 16 stages. Now onto my favourite part of these videos, which is the prediction section, starting with Rally 1. I think in 3rd place is going to be Sebastian Ogier. He has won 2 rallies this year and has won Rally Sardegna 4 times. He can certainly win this rally, obviously, but I don't think he will, because he can't win them all. Well, at least, hopefully not. 2nd, I think, will be Thierry Neuville. He's won this rally 3 times. It's almost as much as Ogier, including last year's rally. And he's also currently leading the World Championship by a fairly big margin. He can also win this rally quite easily, but I think the driver I've put in first will. Now onto the driver I've picked for first, Ott Tanak. Yes, it's slightly left field prediction, but I felt he made such a step forward in his speed and consistency in Portugal, and Sardinia being a fairly similar rally, I think he will improve some more and take the overall win. Maybe some bad luck for others might be needed, but I'm standing by him. I want a championship fight, even though I want Neuville to win, but I want him to earn it. Now onto Rally 2. I think in 3rd will be Larry Una, the same position he finished in Portugal last rally. He did come 8th in class last year, but I believe that he'll keep on that good form from Portugal, in addition to Solberg and Gryzin not being in the running, and also Greensmith not present, meaning the 2nd grade Rally 2 drivers have a chance to shine, I'd say. That's a good way of putting it. 2nd place, I think, will be Johan Rossell. He has some very good results on gravel, and also a driver that needs to, if he wants to win the championship, take advantage of Greensmith and Solberg and Gryzin, his teammate, not being point scorers this weekend. But I just don't think he has the gravel ability of the driver I've in first, who you may have guessed from what I said before in the video, who is Sami Pairi, my favourite driver, one of my favourite drivers in the class, maybe in rallying as a whole. I don't know why, to be honest. He's very strong in gravel. While he didn't finish last year's Rally Portugal, while he didn't finish Portugal last rally, he did win more stages than anyone else in the WRC2. He also won last year's Rally Finland in class, which is another gravel rally, obviously a very different gravel rally, but it is a gravel rally. I know he didn't do very well in Sardinia last year, but I think this year will be his year. Now, very briefly, because I've been rambling on for almost 10 minutes now, and I'm sure you want to leave, it's time for the Junior WRC predictions, which I'll do very quickly, as I said. 3rd, Taylor Gill. 2nd, Bruno Balasia, simply because he's just a bit more experienced than Taylor Gill. And 1st, Romet Jurgensen, who seems to be the best driver in the class at the moment, and unless he crashes or some reason has an off weekend, I don't think there's going to be much contention. He'll win it. And after all that, I'm going to say goodbye, and we'll see you after the rally, which starts just after lunchtime on Friday, which is very peculiar. It's normally either early Friday morning or Thursday night. See ya.